Yo, 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 welcome to another episode of Dropping the Soap, the greatest podcast ever. It's me, Marty, it's my boy Junior. What's up, Junior, man? How you doing, bro? How's life?
Hey, bro, that yo ain't never gonna get old for me, bro.
You know what's funny? The only reason why I kept doing that is because you mentioned that. Because I didn't even notice I was doing that. And you're like, bro, you should trademark that. And I'm like, that's kind of funny, man. That's
I
hella
am
funny.
doing.
Well, this is episode 2 of your story, your childhood. I think we talked about a lot of stuff the last episode about your childhood, and I think we kind of ended it off on divorce. So starting this episode, I kind of wanted to sort of piggyback off the last episode and kind of bring that up, and um I wanted to pose a question, man. Is you talked about how your parents' divorce affected you. Um, what was the correlation between that and your incarceration, right?
Damn, it's kind of tough to answer, but it definitely it had a lot to do with it because so a little backstory on my mom. She came over here when she was 14. She
Uh-huh.
was
From
she
Mexico.
ain't never yeah she came from Mexico over here when she was 14. She never had a job. All she knew was the housewife. You know what I mean? She never had to work. So in her growing the courage and calling the police on my dad and him getting arrested, and he was the breadwinner. You know what I mean? My mom ain't never worked in her life. So my dad was in jail, and at that point, my mom had to take care of 4 kids on her own. So
Right.
she started working. She was hardly ever there present. My dad was in jail, feeding me a lot of these things, and so during that time, I would say that I knew what it was like to go hungry, what it was like. My older sister also, she took care of us. She made sure we went to school. It was you go from living in this box in like this bubble, and
The
that
four
bubble gets
corners.
burst. Yeah, the 4 corners, and it gets, you know what I'm saying, you start wandering off from there, and it was very different, very hard to process.
Mm.
Also because nobody ever sat us down to talk to us and tell us like, hey, this is what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, and what I forgot to say is that when that happened, we moved to a different city. We went from Salinas to this little ass city named Lodi. I had no friends. I didn't know nobody. I'm pretty sure my brothers and my sisters also didn't. And for me, I was a very awkward kid. You know what I mean? Like, I hardly made any friends, and I was at school getting bullied too. So it was like super 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 tough for me. All I had was my PS2. You know what I'm saying? I love my PS2. I
Fuck
love my
yeah.
PS2. And it
Hell
was
yeah.
really hard. It was really 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 hard for me to fit in because you move from one city from everything you know, where I'm into Pokemon, I'm into Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm into all these things, and I come over here and people are looking at me weird for being into all these things. You know what I'm saying? So everything I knew, everything I talked about,
Wow. Yeah.
that shit was like that shit was bursted. So I come over here and people are into all these different things, and I was very quiet. I was a very quiet kid. My brother, on the other hand, he's very outgoing. And my other brother, they're closer in age, so they were together. They went to the same school. My sister went to a different school, so I was at school by myself. I had no friends. The person I idolized, the person I like followed my life by, my dad was in jail. My mom was never present because she was always at work. As you know, our house
Yeah.
was literally a fucking TV and our beds in our bedrooms. Like, we had no furniture, we had nothing. I remember there was times where I used to like open the drawers and there was no food in them.
Yeah.
So for my brothers and my sisters, it was difficult for them too, and for me it was damn. I remember I used to want to go to school because I used to want to get fed. You know how they give morning
Yeah.
breakfast.
Yeah. I've been there
Yeah,
too. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know what it was like, but I would say the hardest turning point, the most difficult one was when me and my younger brother, we went to Mexico with my dad got deported, and we went to go live with them over there, and that was like the most that was like that's where shit went from bad to worse,
Yeah.
and it became worse, and I would say like that's what that's where I got more traumatized, and where I learned more bad habits and bad coping skills, and that's what turned me. That's what turned me from being
Mm.
all these things to turn me into responding with violence and responding to every situation in a bad way.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I say that's where it turned for me.
You
That's when I
know,
went
it's
to the work.
bro. I've known you for quite some time. And I didn't realize that you were an awkward kid, bro. I didn't realize that you were a Pokemon. I didn't realize that about you, bro. I'm getting like emotional thinking about that, man, because like the times I've always talked to, I mean, you're hella cool, bro. Like to me, I was kind of awkward kid too, but like I didn't know that about you, man. I didn't know that you got bullied in school and that you were kind of that kid, man. And I know we talked about some of your times in Mexico, and so what was like some of the experiences that you had there that you felt like were traumatizing?
Um, I would say first the shock of leaving. I remember the very first day I went over there, and we're driving over there. I'm excited because I haven't seen my dad in months, so I was excited to going over there. But I remember when we crossed the border, and when we got there, after the excitement wore off of me seeing my dad, his friends there. We were in TJ before we went to where we were actually gonna go and live. His friends started like people started making fun of me, and I didn't understand why people were making fun of me, and they were making fun of me for bringing my PlayStation 2. They were like, "Oh, people like that. People don't have that here. People don't have the shoes you have.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
don't have that." And I'm like, "Damn!" Like I remember at that moment, I wanted to go back so bad. Like
yeah,
I felt lost, and I didn't know how to tell anybody. Like, damn, I feel lost. And I see my little brother. My little brother is very outgoing. Like he's super funny, very outgoing. He's over there having a blast, and he finds entertainment in a lot of things. And I feel more self-conscious of me, like, oh, now I'm thinking like, what do people think about me? What are people saying about me? Can I talk? Can I say anything? And I wanted to go back. Like that very first day, I wanted to go back, and obviously I didn't. I stayed there for a long time, but we drove. We drove about. I think it was like about a day drive. We're driving. We're sleeping in the truck. It was a one cabin truck, and we made it there. And my grandpa was very welcoming at first. He was very welcoming. He ended up being a piece of shit. He was very welcoming. He gave us some dogs. He gave us horses. My family actually has a lot of they have a lot of property, a lot of things in Mexico. My dad's side of the family.
yeah,
But
yeah,
for me, it was my first day of school. I would say it was my first day of school. We were we were in class, and mind you, now I'm going from English to Spanish. And Spanish was my first language, but I didn't know how to read. So I'm sitting there in class, and my teachers are like, "Hey, da 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 da, read." I said, "What the fuck?" So she tells me to stand up. She tells
yeah,
me to stand up, and I feel all the eyes come towards me.
right,
And mind you, at the time, nobody knew I was born over here. Nobody knew I was born over here. That I had just gone over there. So everybody staring at me. I'm like, "What the fuck was everybody staring at me?" So I just come out with it like I don't know how to read. The whole class started busting out laughing. Everybody's making fun of me. Everybody's calling me all types of names like pocho, fucking gringo, go back where you came from, like all this shit. And I remember like that just like fucking crushed me, bro. Like it made me go back into like like I didn't know that now, but like it depressed me. It fucking
yeah.
made me sad. It made me a shell, a more of a shell of who I was. And then right when we walk out of class, this freaking fat kid, I want to call him. He's my D'Angelo Bailey. Um, he's my D'Angelo Bailey, bro. He fucking came out and he pushed me and I fell. And I remember being hella scared, like, because I didn't know how to stand up for myself,
Right.
and I didn't know how to be scared, and he fucking sat on me. He tortured me for like about 6 months. That year for like about 6 months. So he was that was like the moment where I knew I was lost,
Right.
where I was scared. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to make up things so I wouldn't go to school. I used to make up things to be late. That's where I learned how to manipulate. I would say that's what taught me how to manipulate because I didn't do it out of malice. I did it out of fear. You know what I'm saying? Like I was
Right.
scared to go to school.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
after he did it, his friends started doing it. So once you don't stop the first one, they pile on. Even the ones that are scared of others, even the ones that used to get bullied, now they start bullying me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was the biggest punk of that school.
Yeah.
I was, I was the punching bag. But uh, yeah, bro, like that's what changed it for me.
Yeah. That's great, dude. That's fuck, man. I can't even imagine like living in Mexico and being bullied to that extremes, bro. And I definitely felt like you were already kind of socially awkward when you got there, and then the teacher making you read, and it's probably so awkward and so like you just feeling like you weren't being accepted socially, man. I bet you that alone as a kid could be very traumatizing, bro. You're not accepted. It kind of puts you in this isolated box, like now you don't have friends, you don't have nothing. And when you go to school, it's all you experiencing are bad experiences, bro. And I think that's, I mean, dude, that I was making me a little bit emotional earlier. Like when even right now when you're telling it to me, like I could feel something like my eyes are getting like it was like man, dude, that's like, bro, that's such a
You know what I never
how,
thought about, bro? Is that at that time, like at that time, for some reason, it always felt like it was my fault. Like I always felt like, damn, I shouldn't have wore this shirt, or
Yeah.
damn, I shouldn't have said this, or I shouldn't have looked this way,
You
or
blamed
so I started.
yourself.
Yeah. I blame myself. So I started modeling my behavior to avoid certain people, to avoid dressing a certain way, to avoid talking, and that's what made me more and more quiet. Obviously, you didn't see it because me and you hit it off. Like obviously, we didn't hit it off fast, but like
Yeah.
we hit it off, and like you seen like a different part of me, and like,
Yeah.
but for me,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so you didn't really see that side of me that was like more quiet, that was more to myself, and um, but that's where I learned how to manipulate. That's where I learned how to lie because I had to.
Right.
I had to be. I didn't have the courage to go tell my dad like, "Hey, dad, like, you know what I'm saying? My dad's this big old fucking machismo dude with a fucking mustache, talking about, oh, you fuck somebody up, or like you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that." I obviously wanted to have the courage he had, but I didn't have it in me at that time. I didn't have it in me. I didn't know how to do it. So I was
Right.
scared to go tell him like, "Hey, I'm getting bullied." I was scared to go tell because you know what I'm saying. I didn't want to be labeled a snitch. And uh, damn,
Yeah, we got one. Yeah, we got 1 minute.
that shit.
That
That
was,
shit,
dude.
something, bro.
That is probably one of the best this is probably one of my favorite episodes right here, man, because it told me so much about you that I never knew, man. And I think when you learn about somebody that, you know, your friends, bro, it's like, whoa, that's how you were. So that's, man, that was good, bro. Look,
Like,
guys,
yeah, for
if you
sure.
like
We'll
our
continue.
content, like, subscribe, drop in the soap, hit that like button, make a comment, share it
For
with your
sure.
friends. It's me, my boy Junior, the greatest man ever alive. Junior, all up in your pooniers.
We'll be tapping,
Yeah, hit that like button, man. Welcome to another episode of Dropping the Soap. I feel like we should do another one soon, man, and because there's a whole bunch of other things we can dive into, man. But yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
bye.
Deuces.
Deuces.